All right, so today we're diving deep into SpaceX and Elon Musk. But get this.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah. But not like some boring company profile or anything.
Right, yeah.
We're going behind the scenes of an actual Starship launch.
Oh, wow.
All thanks to this awesome YouTube video by Kai Trump.
I've seen this one. It's amazing how much you can learn, even though it wasn't even meant to be like a SpaceX documentary or anything.
Yeah, and you really get a feel for the whole experience. Like, you're right there with her.
Totally. You can practically feel the excitement and anticipation.
And the scale of it all, it's just mind-blowing.
Definitely mind-blowing.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say you're in for some surprises.
Oh, I bet.
Like, Elon Musk casually compares playing a video game to, like, messing up the space program.
What?
Yeah. What do you think that tells us about his personality?
Well, he's definitely a unique thinker, that's for sure.
And then there's this whole Nutella connection. I'm not even kidding.
Nutella. How that I got here.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So by the end of this deep dive, you'll not only understand what Starship is and why SpaceX is so focused on Mars,
Right.
but you'll also get a glimpse into Elon Musk's mind and the human side of this whole incredible endeavor.
The human side, that's what I find so fascinating about this video.
Absolutely. So let's start with SpaceX's grand vision, making humans a multiplanetary species.
Oh, yeah. Their big dream.
It's not just about reaching Mars.
Right.
It's about fundamentally changing what it means to be human.
I mean, that's a huge idea, right? Like, imagine humans not just visiting Mars, but actually living there.
Exactly.
Building a new society. It's almost science fiction come to life.
It is pretty wild. And the vehicle for this crazy journey, Starship, that's their next generation spacecraft designed for deep space travel.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. It's enormous.
It's massive, able to carry both crew and cargo to Mars, and designed to be reusable. It's just incredible.
Remember, the Starship you see in this video is like an early version, almost a prototype. SpaceX is constantly refining and improving their designs.
They're always pushing the limits.
It makes you wonder what the Starship of the future will look like.
It's hard to even imagine. Now, the video captures that electric feeling right before launch. You can practically feel the anticipation building as Kai Trump and her friends wait for the rocket to lift off.
Their excitement is contagious.
It is, and what struck me was how their reactions highlight the sheer power of witnessing a rocket launch.
Right. They talk about the sonic boom that you can feel in your bones.
Yeah.
And the visual spectacle of the rocket ascending into the sky.
It's clearly an experience that goes beyond words.
It's absolutely powerful.
And then there's this totally random moment where one of Kai's friends tries to crack her back and compares it to lifting a 200-pound weight.
Classic.
It's these little details that make the whole thing feel so real.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good reminder that even in the midst of all this cutting-edge technology and grand ambition, it's still humans at the heart of it all.
People with their own quirks and experiences.
Exactly. Okay, so we've all seen those picture-perfect rocket landings.
Yeah.
But in this video, the booster ends up landing in the sea.
This is like, wait, what just happened?
It seems counterintuitive.
Right.
But it actually demonstrates SpaceX's commitment to safety.
Oh, okay.
Landing in the sea is a controlled measure to minimize risk during a test flight.
So they'd rather lose the booster than risk something going wrong.
Exactly. Safety first, especially in these early stages of development.
But don't worry, they're not fishing rockets out of the ocean.
Oh.
Elon Musk mentions in the video that they've got even better versions of Starship already in production.
See, that's what I love about SpaceX. They're always a step ahead.
The pace of innovation is just mind-boggling.
It really is. And speaking of Elon Musk...
Oh, yeah, he's quite a character.
I've got a story about him.
Go on.
So in the video, he makes this totally offhand comment comparing playing a video game called League of Legends to actually harming the space program.
He said that.
Yeah. It's a quirky comment, but I think it reveals a lot about his dedication.
Like, his mind is always working, even when he's supposed to be relaxing.
Totally. The space program is always on his mind.
It's like he can't switch off. And then he's asked if he'd go to space himself.
Yeah. And what does he say?
In a heartbeat. Without missing a beat.
Wow. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is.
That's Elon Musk for you.
It's that adventurous spirit and unwavering belief that makes him so compelling.
He's not just some CEO sitting in an office.
Right.
He's ready to jump in and experience it himself.
He's all in. He also dropped some knowledge about the travel time to Mars.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
A typical trip would take about 6 months.
6 months.
But you could potentially shorten it to 3 or 4 months if you pack light.
Space travel hacks. Who knew?
It's fascinating, all the logistical challenges of interplanetary travel.
It's not as simple as hopping on a plane.
Not at all. But what surprised me was how relatable Musk seems in the video.
Yeah, he's actually pretty funny.
He's joking around with Kai and her friends, even offering to design a rocket-powered golf club.
Like, who needs a driver when you've got a rocket, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a side of him you don't always see.
It humanizes him in a way that I think a lot of people can relate to.
For sure. So we've talked about the technology and the ambition.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the human element that shines through in Kai's video.
It's what makes it so special.
You can hear the emotion in her voice when she describes getting chills during the launch.
Yeah. It's a reminder that this isn't just about technology. It's about the impact these events have on people.
Absolutely. There's a sense of wonder and awe that comes across.
Even through the screen.
Yeah, and I think it taps into something universal, a fascination with the unknown, a desire to push the boundaries.
And it's not just the big moments Kai and her friends are hanging out, snacking on Nutella, and just being themselves.
It makes the whole experience feel more grounded, more human.
Right. And speaking of Nutella, remember that connection I mentioned earlier?
The Nutella connection.
Yeah. Well, Kai and her friends are big fans.
Okay.
And it turns out Elon Musk is a snack enthusiast himself.
Really?
There's a funny moment where he talks about the very good bacon being served before the launch.
Aha. So he's a foodie, too.
It seems like it.
It's those little glimpses into their personalities
That make this video so compelling.
It's not just about rockets and Mars. It's about the people behind it all, their passions, and even their quirks.
Absolutely.
And their love of snacks.
Of course the snacks are important.
So we were talking about how SpaceX is revolutionizing space travel with those reusable rockets.
Yeah, it's incredible how they can land those things back on Earth.
Right. But to really get to Mars and stay there, they need something even bigger and better.
You're talking about Starship, right?
Exactly.
I've seen pictures and it's just gigantic.
It is. It's the largest spacecraft ever built.
Wow. Seriously.
Nearly 400 feet tall.
That's taller than the Statue of Liberty.
It is, and it's designed to carry over 100 people to Mars along with all the supplies they'd need.
It's like a small city in space.
That's a good way to put it. And that massive size is key for carrying everything needed to establish a colony on Mars.
So it's not just a rocket. It's like a giant space ark.
Yeah, pretty much. Carrying everything needed to start a new civilization on another planet.
It's mind-boggling. And remember, we talked about reusability.
Oh, yeah. Both the booster, they call it Super Heavy, and the Starship spacecraft itself are designed to return to Earth after each mission.
So imagine a spacecraft the size of a skyscraper landing back on Earth.
It's hard to even picture it.
It is. Okay, so we've got this massive reusable spaceship that can transport a small city to Mars.
Right.
But how does the actual journey work?
Well, the trip to Mars would be a multi-stage process.
Okay.
Kind of like an intricate dance in space.
I like that analogy.
So first, Starship launches on top of the Super Heavy booster from Earth.
Okay.
Then the booster separates and comes back down to Earth to be used again, while Starship continues on toward Mars.
So it's like a tag team effort.
Exactly.
And how long would people be stuck in this spaceship?
Well, a typical trip to Mars is expected to take around 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's way longer than any flight I've ever been on.
You'd need a whole lot more than in-flight movies to keep you entertained on a trip like that.
And just thinking about being that far away from Earth for that long?
Yeah, it's a whole other level of isolation.
It would definitely be a challenge.
Ensuring the physical and mental well-being of the astronauts during that journey is a huge priority for SpaceX.
Makes sense.
They need to create a comfortable and livable environment inside Starship.
Like, you'd need to think about everything from radiation shielding to growing food to keeping people from going stir-crazy.
You're hitting on all the key points. They need to figure out how to produce food and provide psychological support. It's a massive undertaking.
It's like the ultimate Big Brother challenge, only in space.
Haha, yeah, something like that. Okay, so let's say they make it to Mars.
All right.
How do they land this massive spacecraft on another planet?
Yeah, that can't be easy.
It's one of the trickiest parts of the mission. The Martian atmosphere is much thinner than Earth's, so it's tough to slow down.
So no parachutes like we see with spacecraft landing back on Earth.
Parachutes alone won't be enough. They'll need to use a combination of techniques,
Okay.
like using the atmosphere to slow down, firing the engines to brake, and using a heat shield to protect the spacecraft.
It sounds incredibly complex.
It is. But let's say they stick the landing.
All right, they're on Mars now. What?
Well, touching down is just the first step.
Right.
The next phase involves establishing a base camp.
Like a home away from home.
Exactly. They need shelter, life support power for the initial crew, From there, they'll start exploring the surrounding area looking for resources.
It's like the ultimate camping trip, except you're setting up camp on a whole other planet.
Exactly. You need to be incredibly resourceful to survive in that kind of environment.
I can only imagine. So instead of pitching tents, they'll be setting up inflatable habitats.
Right, and using rovers to scout out the Martian landscape.
So what's the long-term plan?
The ultimate goal is to create a self-sustaining colony.
One that doesn't need constant supplies from Earth.
Exactly. That's the dream.
That's an incredible goal.
Yeah.
What would it take to actually achieve that?
It would be a huge feat of engineering and ingenuity.
For sure.
They'll need to figure out how to use Martian resources like water ice and minerals to create food fuel and building materials.
So they'll need to live off the land.
Exactly. And they'll have to find ways to generate power manage waste and create a closed-loop ecosystem that can support life.
It's like building a new world from scratch.
It is a massive undertaking. But why Mars?
Yeah, why is colonizing another planet such a big deal?
Well, there are a lot of reasons. For one, having a colony on Mars would be like an insurance policy for humanity.
Insurance policy.
Yeah, if something catastrophic were to happen on Earth, having humans on another planet would ensure our survival.
So it's like a backup plan for humanity.
Exactly. It's also a huge driver of technological innovation.
Oh, I can see that.
Pushing the boundaries in space often leads to breakthroughs that benefit us back here on Earth.
Just like the space race back in the 20th century led to advancements in computing and medicine.
Right. Solving problems in space forces us to come up with innovative solutions.
And colonizing Mars would also inspire future generations.
Absolutely. It would show what humans are capable of when we set our minds to something truly audacious.
It's about pushing the limits of human achievement.
And fostering a spirit of exploration and discovery.
It's like a collective dream for humanity. The idea that we could become a multi-planetary species.
It captures the imagination, but it's not all smooth sailing.
Right, there must be some risks involved.
Absolutely. We need to think about the potential impact on Mars itself.
Like, what if there's life on Mars already?
Exactly. We wouldn't want to contaminate it or disrupt a potential ecosystem.
We've made our share of mistakes here on Earth. We need to approach colonizing Mars with a lot more care.
I agree. Mars is a unique and valuable planet, and we need to treat it with respect.
It raises a lot of questions about planetary protection and how we can minimize our impact.
We need to proceed cautiously and thoughtfully.
So it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
Weighing the potential benefits against the potential risks.
Exactly. It's a conversation that needs to involve everyone.
Scientists, ethicists, policymakers, the public.
We need to make sure we're making the right decisions.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
We need to have an open and honest dialogue about the implications of colonizing Mars.
And make sure we're approaching it in a responsible and sustainable way.
Absolutely.
It's crazy to think that SpaceX is just one company doing all this.
It is pretty amazing what they're doing, but you're right, they're not alone.
Yeah, like I've heard of Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos's company, and Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson's company. They're already taking people to the edge of space.
Yeah, it feels like we're in a whole new era for space.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like a new space race is happening?
I'd say so, but this time it's not just about national pride or anything like that.
Right, it's different this time.
It's fueled by technological advancements, new economic opportunities, and this growing realization that space is essential for humanity's future.
It's not just about exploration anymore.
Exactly. And we're seeing all these smaller companies popping up, too.
Really?
Yeah, specializing in things like mining asteroids or building space-based solar power stations.
Wow, it's incredible how fast things are moving. But what does all this activity actually mean for, like, the average person?
That's a great question.
Will this new space age change our lives here on Earth?
Well, think about it. Space technology already touches our lives every day.
Does it?
Yeah, we have communication satellites that connect the entire world.
Oh, right.
And GPS systems that guide our cars and even tell us where the nearest coffee shop is.
It's true. We take those things for granted.
We do. We rely on space technology for so much.
Yeah, like weather forecasts, knowing what time it is.
Exactly. It's already woven into our daily lives.
And it's only going to get more intertwined as the space industry keeps growing.
Definitely. We can expect even more cool technologies to spin off from these space ventures.
Like what kind of things?
Think of new materials, manufacturing techniques, maybe even medical breakthroughs.
So it's like this ripple effect. Solving problems in space leads to innovations that help us here on Earth.
You got it.
Yeah.
But beyond those practical benefits, there's also the impact on our culture and our imagination.
Oh, yeah. We talked earlier about how SpaceX's launches and Elon Musk's vision are inspiring a whole new generation.
Right. There's a renewed sense of wonder and possibility.
It's like space exploration is cool again.
And that inspiration goes beyond just wanting to be an astronaut. It's about pushing boundaries, challenging assumptions, believing we can achieve incredible things.
It's like a shift in mindset.
Exactly. It can affect every aspect of our lives.
It's that feeling that we're not limited to just this one planet,
Right.
that there's a whole universe out there to explore.
It is a pretty humbling thought when you think about the scale of it all.
It is, but also kind of empowering.
Definitely. Humans are curious by nature, and space exploration allows us to tap into that desire to understand the unknown.
To unravel the mysteries of the universe.
Exactly.
It feels like we're on the edge of a whole new era of discovery.
We are, and the possibilities are endless.
So where do we go from here?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is. What's the next chapter for SpaceX, for the space industry, for humanity in this grand adventure?
It's a future we're creating right now, and the only way to find out is to keep exploring, keep innovating, keep dreaming big.
It's a journey filled with challenges, but also with so much hope and inspiration.
Well said.
I'm excited to see what unfolds.
Me too. And remember, this isn't just about rockets and distant planets. It's about humanity's future, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
So to everyone listening out there, keep your eyes on the skies.
Never stop asking questions.
And keep that sense of wonder alive.
This has been our deep dive into SpaceX and the future of space exploration. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring.